Geopolitical GCR RV Overview Tuesday, January 31, 2017. Dress rehearsal. Still waiting? On what, you ask? Not the money, that's all done. Redemptions we know have started, privately sure, but in the United States and including ZIM at sovereign rates, but no major or large hydration yet, just temporary SKRs for later in the week TBD. Subgroup paymasters were hydrated, which is something on the T3 level, but they all have T4 level clientele waiting on performance like the rest of us. And while technically they're already on the other side of the RV, are they really? Nobody's technically been paid yet here in the United States at the T4 level as of this post, even though some have redeemed at sovereign rates. Man, is this iceberg moving slowly through these icy cold winter waters of change. When does the mercy reach the people? Hey, did you notice the Dow fell below 20,000 points today with a 100-point futures drop right before the opening bell? Did you also notice that the same thing happened last Tuesday night to artificially jump the Dow over 20,000 at the opening bell on Wednesday? Why does this matter? It was an RV dress rehearsal. The NPTB decided, perhaps long ago decided, to run a full RV dress rehearsal before actual release the RV, including all military, security and banking personnel operating in real-time situations. That is what occurred this past week, starting on Monday morning, Trump's first day as Republican president. And with a new chairman of the Joint Chiefs or Secretary of Defense, General Mattis, and a new Homeland Security Secretary, General Kelly, starting also 2 Saturdays ago, the Republic used the buffer week as time for a full dress rehearsal reviewing final military and banking operations inside the USA. We hope they determined all systems were a go after they activated full RV rollout protocol, including activating the US markets with that artificial 20,000 starting line on Wednesday morning. In preparation for the actual RV rollout later this week, they had Trump go ahead and sign a 7-nation travel ban, as not to allow in-country foreign bad actors from known ISIS nations, as well as hidden stockpiles of IQD waiting to come into this country by boat for redemption, which could then be redeemed at nearly 4 times the overseas rate in, say, those 7 Middle Eastern countries. No wonder the mainstream media is in such an uproar. The cabal didn't like their desperation plan being shut out at the last second by General Dunford, in charge of the North American RV for the Chinese elders. So Trump's sudden executive order travel ban, the one he didn't even bother telling top Republican House leadership about until after it was already announced, mattered greatly to our RV hopes because it kept all the would-be bad actors, and their IQD, outside this country, as well as locking out internal rogue investors like drug kingpins, dealers and the George Soros of the world, from converting amazing amounts of IQD they did not want to discovered, held and protected for decades by cabal families and their generals. I know of this desperation plan firsthand, as I've seen massive currency deals for IQD in the multiple quints, from Saddam's own personal vaults, that were accumulated throughout his rule just for such a doomsday as the people's RV. And the last thing these cabal families want is personal detection. Yet they really do want their IQD exchanged because they paid for it or stole it over decades. So that's the big RV conundrum playing out tonight. What to do with all that vaulted and very real cabal IQD as time runs out on the Zionists? Don't think the RV is a national security matter. Don't think the IQD revaluation, or any currency for that matter, doesn't affect this nation's overall national security. Don't think other evil forces don't want to do us harm on our soil. Think again, people. You're at war and don't know it. And the only reason you haven't exchanged yet is safety. Period. It's not a mechanical banking issue at this stage. It's purely a protection matter as it relates to the Republic's national security, including your personal security. Few in our land understand this depth of evil, as well as all that the RV entails from a global delivery, sovereign security, and geopolitical standpoint. I've tried to educate this community on what goes into RV decision making. I hope some of it was useful and gave you peace. Remember, the last time the world tried to replace the financial system was September 11, 2001. And here we are approaching 16 years later, so, there's that. Be on guard, folks. There are still hidden wolves in the henhouse masquerading as noble statesmen. Look, in this new technological age we're all connected at the hip by the new financial system out of the East, and most all of the Western world is not pleased about that fact. Namely Anglo-Saxon Christian nations, as they were the ones who controlled the old financial system for centuries and would rather die, be jailed, or be martyred before they have to relinquish that degree of power. Some took the amnesty deals offered by the NPTB, others choose the short harikiri sword and died by their own hand, or worse, some took the long sword and died by the NPTB's hand, also by choice, mind you. Anyone left now either wants to participate in good faith within the rules of the new system, thus waiting like the rest of us, or they are plotting and scheming as OPTB actors who only live to lie, cheat, and steal from humanity. Right now, they desire more time to create or recreate a plan to convert their old assets onto this new system without detection. Problem is, that just ain't gonna happen due to the technology superiority and blatant transparency built into the new financial system. Yet these thrives and killers don't care because they have nothing to lose. Which is precisely why the RV is moving so slowly into your experience. The OPTB still aspire to steal, rape and destroy humanity because that's all they know. Sure, they are dead wrong, and soon to be dead, period, which is also happening BTW via Black Op death squads that are removing all last obstacles, but they are very clever at causing process delays such as what we are witnessing in the Senate with Trump's cabinet confirmation approvals. The most important cabinet approval in terms of the RV is future Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin. Why? He has agreed to sign off on the restored Republic Treasury's new currency, TRN/USN. Current Treasury, Orthodox Jew Jack Lew will not and legally cannot, as the Chinese and White Knights have long had massive problems with him during this transition out of the USA, Inc. Normally incoming presidential cabinet picks breeze through the Senate approval process, even all of Bush's and Obama's cabinet picks breezed through the 2000 and 2008 processes respectively. But not Trump's. Reason being is structural. If Trump's Treasury Secretary gets approved and then sworn in, that also means the Republic Treasury can function legally and release the TRN/USN, which by international treaty they now legally print on behalf of the Republic. Thus, the nation's new gold-backed currency, our new money per a law passed by the restored Republic Congress and signed into law by the new Republic President Trump, cannot be authorized for released. Meaning we wait on our 800#S. So legally, the Republic government needs to and will Tuesday replace Jack Lew in order to RV. Hence the current time delays of Mnuchin's confirmation, which the NPTB anticipated and gave 1 full week to resolve, using that extra week to accomplish a full dress rehearse prior to the actual RV rollout. This is why all existing T3 SKRs were scheduled for hydration this morning before the 12:01 p.m. window, just in case the cabal didn't utilize their full week delay rights in the Senate confirmation approval process. Make sense? God, I hope so. This procedural stuff is so boring. We suspect the markets are scheduled to be artificially lifted again above 20,000 Tuesday night in concert with the T4 release, 800#S, and the actual Republic RV rollout. Not a huge delay, 1 week, but it was confusing. We also understand, pro-Israel senators, long bought and paid for in the upper and lower houses of Congress, are risking their amnesty packages with non-compliance tomorrow, including jail, currency redemption, and public exposure via trial penalties. Further stalling past the legal confines in Congress, 1 week, will be considered an act of treason against our restored republic. Stuff is serious. Perhaps they will stand down, perhaps they will just be arrested in full public view on the Senate floor, perhaps they will all get another punishment altogether. Universal law of free will requires that they choose their fate. And we shall all know of their decisions by tomorrow. So bite. God